The institution that we chose in order to make our research was Instituto Nacional Profesor Santiago Echegoyen. The school as an institution, we have some generalities about the high school. The official name of the high school is Instituto Nacional Profesor Santiago Echegoyen, and the code number is 12329. The high school is located in San Vicente, and then we have the logo. The specific address of the high school is Barrio Concepción, Avenida Timoteo, Líbano, Municipio de Guadalupe, San Vicente. Talking about the legal framework, we have the code that is 12329, and under the agreement number 154338 on June 30th, 1999, Minet legalized the change of the name of the high school from Instituto Nacional de Guadalupe to Instituto Nacional Profesor Santiago Echegoyen. This was under the administration of Ana Evelyn Yacir de Lobo, that was the Minister of Education in that time. The location, geographical location of the high school, as I mentioned before, the high school is located in Guadalupe. That is a municipality in a district of that is located in San Vicente. Then we have the Inse map and the history. Talking about the history, the high school was founded in 1967, and the first name that the school had was Instituto Nacional de Guadalupe. During this time, the high school wasn't settled in a specific place or in a specific building, so different houses were used for the classes to be developed. These houses were used as classrooms. And the plan that the high school used in that time was called Plan Básico de Guadalupe, and the only educational level that the plan included was first years of high school. In 1968, second year of high school was established, and in 1970, third year of high school was established. As I mentioned before, different houses were used as classroom for the classes to be developed. These houses was were rented by Minet and also paid by Minet. In 1974, the land was donated by Evangelina de la Cruz Dominguez de Martelli. She donated the land, but it was thanks to Mr. Santiago Echegoyen, because he was the responsible for the process to get the land donated, and that's why the high school is named after him, or in honor to him. Also, in this year, the construction of the high school began. In 1976, the new infrastructure was inaugurated. It took 6 years for the high school to be inaugurated. In 1982, the name changed from Instituto Nacional de Guadalupe to Instituto Nacional Profesor Santiago Echegoyen, but this was not official. In 1996, the technical modality was introduced and legalized by Minet. In 1999, the name of the high school was legalized by Minet. In 2007, the extension of technical modality um, was established. General and technical modality, both uh, modalities were implemented in the high school. Then we have some information about Mr. Santiago Echegoyen. He was born in Guadalupe, and he worked as a teacher in different schools and institutions. Then we have the inner map, and we can see how the high school is distributed, the different areas and different places that the high school have. For example, recreational areas such as the soccer field and the auditorium, the different classroom, the teacher room, and the different offices. the laboratory, library.
As we move forward with this presentation, it's time to talk about the educational levels. Educational levels are the different options that schools provide to their students. Like in this case, the Instituto Nacional Santiago Echegoyen has two different modalities in high school. The first one is Vocational Technical High School Accountant option and General High School. At the meantime, there are 8 different sections. They have 2 sections of the first year of Vocational Technical High School, 1 general freshman section, 1 second year section of General High School, 2 sections of second year Vocational Technical High School, and 2 sections of third year of Vocational General High School. Now, let's talk about the number of students per level. As we can see in this chart, we have the exactly amount of the students that are in each section. It is important to mention that each section is divided in section A and section B for the first, second, and third year. For example, let's say second year technical modality section has 12 females and 10 males, for total 22 students in that section. As part of the whole institution, there are 91 females and 93 males, which makes a total of 184 students. For every single student, the schedule of entry and departure time is from Monday to Friday from 7:30 a.m. in the morning to 12:30 p.m. By this time, the students has a break and they can go and get their lunch. Some students have the chance to eat at the cafeteria of the institution, but another students that live close to the institution can go back to their houses, get lunch, and come back by 1:30 p.m. and the classes will be finished by 3:40 p.m. As something else to mention, all the students are required to attend these 2 shifts from Monday to Friday to complete their academic learning during the week. Finally, for the administrative office schedule, there is a little difference. The workers that work at the institution, they must start by 6:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and they get their break for their lunch, and they come back in the afternoon from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And this is from Monday to Friday. As we move forward with this presentation, it's time to talk about the educational levels. Educational levels are the different options that schools provide to their students. Like in this case, the Instituto Nacional Santiago Echegoyen has 2 different modalities in high school. The first one is Vocational Technical High School Accountant option and General High School. At the meantime, there are 8 different sections. They have 2 sections of the first year of Vocational Technical High School, 1 general freshman section, 1 second year section of General High School, 2 sections of second year Vocational Technical High School, and 2 sections of third year of Vocational General High School. Now, let's talk about the number of students per level. As we can see in this chart, we have the exactly amount of the students that are in each section. It is important to mention that each section is divided in section A and section B for the first, second, and third year. For example, let's say second year technical modality section has 12 females and 10 males, for total 22 students in that section. As part of the whole institution, there are 91 females and 93 males, which makes a total of 184 students. For every single student, the schedule of entry and departure time is from Monday to Friday from 7:30 a.m. in the morning to 12:30 p.m. By this time, the students has a break and they can go and get their lunch. Some students have the chance to eat at the cafeteria of the institution, but another students that live close to the institution can go back to their houses, get lunch, and come back by 1:30 p.m. and the classes will be finished by 3:40 p.m. As something else to mention, all the students are required to attend these two shifts from Monday to Friday to complete their academic learning during the week. Finally, for the administrative office schedule, there is a little difference. The workers that work at the institution, they must start by 6:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and they get their break for their lunch, and they come back in the afternoon from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And this is from Monday to Friday.
Another important fact is tuition payment. Education is free. However, students pay $5 to buy a package that includes the coexistence manual and the monogram, and $2 monthly to collaborate to pay for the kitchen service and include the food preparation and cook. Another important fact is the school admission requirements. For the first years, the students present the birth certificate, ninth grade certificate, and the all enrollment for the first year is the same: birth certificate, ninth grade certificate, and certificate of conduct. It is the requirement. And for the second year, birth certificate, previous year certificate that reference first year of high school, and certificate of conduct. And the another important facts are the uniforms. The daily uniform for all specialty is for men: black shoes, beige formal pants, black belt, white formal shirt. For ladies, black shoes, white socks, beige skirt, black belt, and white blouse. Both gender with their respective monogram of their specialty. The sport uniform is tennis shoes, black pants, white shirt, black collar with straps. And this is the important facts to a student entry this institution.
A school as organization. Vision of the school. Inse Middle School campus aims to consolidate itself by 2018 as one of the most important public institutions of academy, excellent, innovative, efficient, competitive, with productive creation and entrepreneurship that will improve the quality of life for the benefit of a just society. Supported and democratic society with an infrastructure that has all environments, equipment, and material with the state-of-the-art technology. Mission. Inse is an institution with professional teachers trained to train women and entrepreneurial men prepared for life to continue their higher education and or to insert themselves into the world of work, possessing ethical and moral values, developing critical, thoughtful science and technology, basic thinking, applying the philosophy of good living with equality and work to propose solutions tailored to requirements of society. The values that schools have, the first ones and more important is respect for human dignity. The principal said that it's important the respect that the teacher has to the students and the students to the teacher. The second one is solidarity and honesty, gender equality, responsibility, social justice, cultural identity, policies and laws of the institution, commitment acquired by teaching staff, make more interesting and pleasant the lesson where all the students can participate, show determination in order to take decisions, show and express confidence, affection, and respect to the students, commend, congratulate, and write all the coexistence book all positive aspects, do not humiliate in public, correct in private, encourage to students to see not just successful but also the failures in order to make their own corrections. Duties and rights of the students. Students' duties comply with the institution's internal regulation, as well as the other legitimate provisions determined by its authorities. Proceed in all its acts with the appropriate conduct and within the social norm established with the institution and the activities provided by it. Reply the greeting and keep silent when there is a visit in the classroom. To attend punctually classes and other activities provided. Keep in the institution neat and orderly. Keep alive the feeling of love for the country. Treat with respect and subtlety of the people who make up the educational community inside and outside the institution. Present yourself to the institution in full and orderly uniform, complete with the student social service. Students' rights, receive fair and respectful treatment, be evaluated objectively and request a review when it is considered effective, associate freely and hold peaceful meetings with the only limitation provided in the Constitution of the Republic and other laws, participate in the formation and activities of the Students' Council, require the protection of your rights before the management of the CDE, to enjoy in a equitable way to the students benefits provided by the Minister of Education, receive education in a spirit of understanding, tolerance, friendship, peace, and solidarity. Make their learning in environment conductive to learning with the possibilities of institutions, the various serious penalties, and various provisions. The first one is serious penalties. Withdrawal from classes for all 5 calendar days with the obligation to perform tasks for the benefit of the National Institute Professor Santiago Echeguillón. Withdrawal from the institution for up to 8 school days. In the above cases, the assistant principal or coordinator will prepare a prior commitment or correction of conduct and sign it jointly with the parent and the student. Said act shall be taken as prior notice for the application of various serious sanctions. Various serious penalties. Withdrawal from classes for 15 school days. Withdrawal of students from the institute. In the case of numeral 1, the parent's guardian will be summoned and notified in the association of the student. The various provisions, if a robbery happens or any act indiscipline, immediately report the teacher, guide, vice principal office or principal office for their respective investigation, otherwise the complaint will not be valid. If a student stains wall or windows, they will be penalized while painting entire wall and the parents or guardian will take care of expenses. The institution is not responsible for the loss of values.
In the organizational chart, we have the CDE as the principal boss of the institute. Also, we have the principal, the sub-principal, the administrative staff, and we have the CRI, which is related to computers. So we have in the administrative staff, the secretary, the service staff. The secretary is in charge of enrolling all the students and typing the document. The service staff include the janitors and the guard. In the teachers council, we have the teachers committee. They are in charge of supporting new pedagogical elements that support to overcome the weaknesses that they have. Also, we have 2 levels or modalities for this institute. The first one is technical accountant. There are 2 levels. In the first one, there are new students, first years of high school, section A and section B. Also, in the second, we have the same section A and section B. In the third, section A and section B. In general modality, they just study 2 years and they become graduated, or they are allowed to continue studying at the university. The numbers of employees are distributed as follows. Basic area of teaching, we have 1 teacher of mathematics, 1 teacher of language and literature, and 2 teachers of social studies, 4 teachers of natural sciences, and 1 teacher of English. In the technical area, we have 1 computer science teacher and 4 commercial science teacher. They are teaching just for accountant students because these subjects are just for numbers and some businesses. In the administrative staff, we have 1 principal and 1 sub-principal. They are girls. 1 secretary, 1 librarian. She is in charge of being lending and borrowing books to students, and she receives the tuition payment, the tuition for the students and other duties. Also, 1 ordinance, 1 night guard, 1 computer technician. In total, there are 14 teachers and 7 administrative. In total, there are 21 employees. The number of students is divided by female and male. 91 female and 92 female. In total, there are 184 students in different ages, of course, and also we have The emergency protocol, this is in charge of guiding students in order to save life. At the moment to have a headquarters, they have some areas that are safety, and also the principal has the contact numbers for the main authorities that can provide them some support at the moment to have those troubles. Also, we have been in the institute and we watched the signal post on the wall with the purpose that the student knows them and have the idea how to take care of themselves at the moment to have a semblance. For example, they have a semblance each 3 months. That is the purpose of the emergency protocols, because they have some committees in order to do that. They have to evacuate all students and show to them how to fix on some to support then at the moment to suffer some damage of injury at the moment that those issues happens.
Continue with the topic School as Organization. The content is the coexistence manual, regulation of faults and penalties, which are divided in minor, serious, and very serious, and also special programs and other services. And this book is divided in faults, schedules, permissions, where the parents have to fill it with the ID number and the signature. The behavior is evaluated by the teachers by making observation and rate it. Rate it as very good, good, or bad. According to the manual, parents pay $2 for the program pays. At the end of the book contains a sheet called Programa Pase, and the students go to the library to pay $2. For the meeting, parents have to pay and carry out the textbook in order to get a seal and the signature as attendance. The regulation of faults and penalties. Minor faults, not wear the complete uniform, unreasonable missing class or being late. The use of caps, hats, or scarves. Eat inside the classroom or during the class hours. Not fulfill the homework and the education activity tasks by the teacher. The penalties are withdrawal from classes for up to 5 days with the obligation to do tasks for the benefit of the institution. Principal will prepare a prior commitment for correction. Serious faults. Address a classmate using full vocabulary. Being involved in a fight in or outside the institution, either individual or group. Appear in the institution under the effect of alcohol or any illegal drug. Show tattoos, subtract assessment, test qualifications, or any other confidence document. Refuse to participate without justification in civic, sport, or another cultural activities in which the institution is involved. The penalties are very serious faults. Carry weapons inside the institution. Cause damage to the property, equipment, furniture, and tools. Commit two serious faults. Introduce or sell drugs or alcohol in the institution. Consume drugs, alcohol, cigarette inside or outside the institution. The penalties are the principal or sub-principal will prepare an act of commitment to amend the student's behavior and sign it together with the parents and the students. The fault and penalties will be recorded in the student's file. The material damage caused by the students must be repaired on their own, and the cases that are not provided in the institution regulation will be resolved by the competent authority. The special programs. Now the high school have an agreement with the local clinic who provide the services of health, the town hall, which now is providing a scholarship, and the police that are providing the service of workshops in order to get security. Now the town hall and the police have the cámaras de vigilancia program, and the institution is working with the creation of the creación de huerto. Other services. Unfortunately, there is not information about because the high school administration doesn't provide the information. Now, let's see the rest of pictures. We work with the principals at her office. This was outside of the auditorium